It goes without saying that we are a very challenging time with respect to Israel. I've been involved for an extended period in the issues that we are confronting as a community today, so I want to take a few minutes tonight to speak bluntly about what I think are some key truths that should guide our conduct going forward. First, it is not 1938. The murders, rapes, and other atrocities carried out by Hamas on October 7th were brutal, inexcusable, despicable, and cannot be justified in any way. They are inhumane. Iran and its proxies, including Hezbollah, continue to be a serious threat. Even with all that being true, the Jewish people are no longer defenseless. We have a state of our own. That state happens to be the most powerful military force in the Middle East, and it has demonstrated its capabilities subsequent to October 7. Israel has the support of the most important country in the world, both politically and militarily, in the United States. And Israel's targeted response to Hamas has been widely supported by many countries. All of this reflects one of the key goals of modern Zionism. Jews are no longer left to be slaughtered without defense. Our support of Israel and our relationship with American leadership have helped make this worldwide Jewish project a success. Just last year, the Biden administration, for the first time for any country in the history of the world, issued a comprehensive national strategy to counter anti-Semitism. While we must always remain vigilant and continue to engage in strong and accurate advocacy, it is not 1938, and we should not think that it is. This fact has implications for how Israel and its supporters need to approach the future while living in a land with a mix of, shall we say, interesting and sometimes dangerous neighbors. Second, there are roughly 15 million people living between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea. Yes, that river and that sea. Only about half are Jews. I've got news for you. Neither the Israelis nor the Palestinians are going to physically leave in significant numbers, nor will they abandon their dreams of national self-determination. If anybody understands that, it should be the Jewish people. We were, for the most part, off the land for some 2 millennia, and yet our dream survived. The Palestinians are no less human than Jews. Why would we think they would behave differently? The Tanakh reminds us that we are all created in the image of God. That means we must find some way to live together because the neighborhood is not changing. Third, the status quo is not sustainable. If October 7 demonstrates anything, it is that the so-called situation cannot be successfully managed with insincere efforts to anesthetize the Palestinian population with unfulfilled commitments and fantasies and mere economic inducements. If we were honest, we would acknowledge that we knew it would never work. And now we know more clearly than ever that it cannot. All of this has clear implications for the future of Israel. And I am so proud that Israel Policy Forum is at the forefront of helping to promote solutions that will lead to a secure Jewish and democratic Israel. There is no option but to recognize that we must find a way to live with the Palestinians and our other neighbors, both because it is our obligation as Jews to treat other human beings with dignity, and because it is in our self-interest to do something other than what has not worked for decades. Nobody should be under the fantasy that we have ever had perfect security. October 7 happened. The first and second intifadas occurred. The wars in Lebanon were not imaginary. Terror attacks occurred despite incredible efforts to minimize them. I will grant you that Israel does not have exceptional partners for peace, to say the least. Nevertheless, Israel's constant incursion on Palestinian territory through settlement encroachment, its encouragement of Palestinian political movements to compete with one another, and the failure to capitalize on the Saudi peace initiative of now many years ago as the opening of a discussion, all reflect choices that Israel, often with the support of American Jewry, have made. We need to move now, without hesitation, toward two states for two peoples. It won't happen overnight. It will initially require separation and then nurturing and building of Palestinian institutions and capabilities. That is in Israel's interest. If we look at the situation honestly, we know there is no other answer. And because we know that, we cannot use Palestinian transigence, lack of cooperation, and even terror as an excuse not to do the smart thing, the right thing. Now, the good news is that we can do this from a position of strength. It's not 1938. We have fulfilled the Zionist dream. The Jewish people can control our own destiny, but we must seize the moment and not let events overtake us. Our efforts to close our eyes to reality have let others dictate the pace and outcome of events. This must come to an end. One final thing. American Jews have an important role to play here. Yes, we don't vote in Israel. Our children, for the most part, do not serve in the IDF. But through all my life, I have been reminded that we are one people. Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh B'zeh, that all Jews are responsible one for the other, that Israel is the nation state of the Jewish people, that the support of the diaspora is critical for Israel. And I personally believe that the future of Judaism requires a strong bond and mutually beneficial relationship between those who live in the land and those who are elsewhere. That means that we have a stake in the outcome of the part of the Jewish drama that is playing out in our lifetime. Your support tonight of Israel Policy Forum makes a strong statement that we deeply believe in an Israel that is secure, Jewish, and democratic, and that we will work ceaselessly to make that ever more true. I am deeply grateful for all of you for attending this event, including my friend Yanam Cohen, the General Counsel General here in the Midwest, who I know represents the State of Israel well, and we're delighted to have him at Israel Policy Forum tonight. I thank you so much for being here. I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Am Yisrael Chai.